Good evening, guys. Well, I don't know what time of the day you'll be watching this video, but I'm sorry I've not released the video for like 2 days now. It's been choked up, but here we are again. So today we're going to be talking about variables. So if you go back to elementary computer science or intro tech, I don't know, in the one we did in secondary school, we were told that a computer is an electronic machine that will accept data. After accepting the data, it will process the data, then give out useful information based on the manufacturer's program, whatever the manufacturer has programmed on the computer. For example, if it's supposed to be an adding machine or um, a calculator that is supposed to add two operands together, if you supply two integers, for example, 2 and 3, your response is the answer you're going to be expecting is going to be 5 because it's supposed to add 2 and 3. So both of them, to supply it to the calculator that is supposed to add, you're going to be getting 5. But if the operation that is programmed on the calculator is multiplication, for example, what you're going to be getting is 3 times 2, that will be 6. So you can see it's a calculator, it's a machine, but the operand that you are supplying to the computer is, since it varies, the output also varies. Now, for you to be able to perform operations using these operands, they need to be stored somewhere in your computer's memory before they can be used. Sure, you get. If it's not being stored somewhere, you will not be able to use it. That is where variables come in. If you want to watch a movie, for example, on your phone, you need to download the movie on your phone. The movie have to be situated on your phone before you'll be able to watch the movie. If you're someone like me that loves to download movies a lot or watch on Netflix, if you're watching a movie from Netflix, you either stream, it is on Netflix's server. So you stream online, you are watching it from their server remotely, or you have the option to download the movie to your device, then you watch it on your device. Sure, you get. So your device is like hosting the movie before you can be able to watch the movie. The what I'm trying to say is that the movie have to be hosted somewhere for you to be able to watch. The same way, the variables that you want to be using, they have to be stored somewhere on your computer's memory for you to be able to use them. That's one side. Now, the location in memory where these variables are going to be stored normally is supposed to be in binary or hexadecimal, depending on your system's specification. Binary means like 0 1 1 1 1 0 0 1 1 0 1 0 1, all like that. But no, we don't do that anymore. What we do is that we look for a name, give it to that memory location. So instead of you calling 0101, you just call the name of the variable, the name of the location. For example, age, name, or maybe height. Take this example. You are in a kitchen and you have seasoning, you have salt, you have maggi, you have pepper. So you have these containers that you have labeled properly. So every time you go to, okay, I need salt, you look for the container that you have labeled salt. You know that it's salt that is inside. You look for the container you've labeled pepper. You know that, okay, this is pepper over here. So it is a misconception for you to think variable is what is storing the data. No, that is very wrong. Variable is the name given to the location in memory where data is stored. I did some writing over here. So let's get to it. Variables in Visual Basic. In Visual Basic, variables will represent storage locations, please. Variables is not what is holding the data. Variable is only representing the memory location where the data is stored. So, and each variable will have a particular data type, very, very important. I released the video on data types, so you can just check that out. Your variable can be an integer, it can be a string, it can be a Boolean data type, it can be a character. Just check the video on data types to determine the type of values the variable can hold. So if, for example, you declare a variable as string, if you want to work with integers, you cannot store an integer inside the data type, a variable that you have declared to store strings. So it is the data type you store in the variable, you declare the variable with, that you are going to be storing, that will determine what kind of data you store in that variable. So Visual Basic is a strongly typed programming language. Please don't forget, strongly typed means before we perform any operation on variables, it is very, very mandatory to define the variable with a required data type to indicate what type of data the variable can hold. In my last class, in the last video that I released, I explained data types over there, so you can just check those ones. So at some point, we have to download Visual Studio and install it on our devices. But for today, for now, I'll just go with this. This should work on your devices as well. So, okay. So this is an online VB compiler, so you can just use this one. Okay, so this one should be able to work on your phones as well. So let's start. Okay, before we go into the variable declarations, I'd like to give us the rules guiding your choice of a variable in Visual Basic. Every programming language have rules guiding the declaration of variables in them. For Visual Basic, we have just 4. Okay, only 4 that I know of. So the first character must be a letter. That is the first one. The first character must be a letter. For example, let me break up my notepad. You cannot have a variable that says something like maybe one maybe person, 2 person. You can't have something like this because it's not starting with a letter. It must be an alphabet. It must be an alphabet. You can't start your variable name with a number. So please take note. And all these characters over here, you can't have them in your variable names. You can have an underscore, but you can't have a period. You can't have an exclamation mark. You can't have this @ sign. You can't have the ampersand sign. You cannot have the $sign. And you cannot have the hash sign as well. So you can't have a space bar as well. You cannot. So, but you can have an underscore if you must use a special character in your variable name. So apart from that, your variable name can't exceed 255 characters. So what this one is saying is that if I want to declare a variable, say name of university. So how many characters is this having? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Now I have 18 characters over here. So the variable name you're going to be declaring, you can't have them as long as 255 characters. What's here? So the whole essence of you declaring a variable in the first place is so that you make it easier for you to locate data in memory. So you don't have to, I don't understand. It is true that some people's names, na paragraph, something like Oluwadarasimi, Igbayilola mi ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ bẹ̀rẹ̀. You can't imagine how long the name is. So you don't need, in program, you don't need a variable name that long. All you need is just something you can use to locate your data in memory. So you don't have to give it a long name, but it's just the rules. 255 characters maximum length. Please take note. So your variable name must not be a reserved keyword. So in all programming languages, there are this set of words we call reserved keywords. I think I should do a video on that. So reserved keywords are keywords that are used for special functions in programming languages. So for VB, dim, for example, is a reserved keyword. As is a reserved keyword. Another reserved keyword might be switch. Another reserved keyword might be select, I guess. Another reserved keyword should be for. There are so many other reserved keywords in Visual Basic. I think I should do a video on that as well. So these reserved keywords, they are specially recognized by the programming language Visual Basic in our own use case. So they have special functions they perform. You can't use them as a variable name. So that is that about that. Now, let's do some example of variable declaration. So see what I have over here. Dim ID as integer. Let me. Okay, if I should run this, you can see I have a hello world here. So I might as well just decide to say chrysalogen. If I should run this, you see, I'm having chrysalogen here. So this is basically telling you console or write line. It's basically telling you that you should write something to the console. My next video should be input and output using the VB console. So at least you'll be able to use this on your own without any stress. So let's get back to variables. If, for example, I want to write a program that will add two integers together, basically the first thing I'm going to be doing is that I have to declare the variables. Don't forget, these integers, I want to add them together, then I'll be getting a result. Now, for me to be able to get the result, the data I want to add together needs to be stored somewhere in memory. So I can just make space for the data to be stored in memory. The x1 as integer. So this one is solved. So this will be my first operand, the x2 as integer. So as soon as VB executes this line of code, this line of code is telling VB to reserve space in memory, an integer space in memory. So I think integers, that should be 4 bytes. In my last video, I explained this. The storage size required, the unit of memory required to store all these data types. So please check it out. So dim x1 as integer, dim x2 as integer, then I can just say dim result as integer. If you add an integer to an integer, you're going to be getting an integer now, have you? So I can say x1 equals to 7 and x2 equals to, say, 11. Then result equals to 7 plus 11. Then since I'm done doing the computations I want to do, I can just come here and output my results. And if I should run it, I'm getting an error here. Where's the error coming from? I'm making a mistake somewhere. I'm coming, please. As integer, x2 as integer. Let me pause the video briefly. Okay, sorry about that. It was an error on my end. So don't forget, you have to declare our variables first. So dim x1 as integer. So this will be the first operand. Dim x2 as integer. This is going to be the second operand. While dim result as integer. This is going to be holding the result. So this is x1 equals to 7, x2 equals to 11. So the memory space that is going to, the space in memory that is going to be reserved by this line of code, 7 is going to be stored in that space. So this line of code is also going to reserve some portion in memory. So that portion in memory, 11 will be stored there. So when I call x1, this x1 is going to return 7, x2 is going to return 11. So 7 plus 11 is going to be giving me 18 I have over here. Let me run this again. Okay, you see, I'm having 18 over here. So if I should change this to negative, for example, and I run it again, you see, I'm getting -4, so it's working fine. So that is you working with integers. Let me say, let's do something with strings. If I want to say the first name as string, then the last name as string as well. Then after this, I can say, and you see what I did over here. I declared some variables. Then I came to assign the value over here. I might decide to do something like this, equals to maybe Chris. Then equals to halogen. So I can just assign the value on the same line over here. I might decide to do this as well. It will work. So let me show the output. So I'm not going to be giving results anymore. So I can just say console.write line the first name. So copy this. Console.write line the last name. So first name and last name. Very good. So if I should run this, you can see I'm having Chris and I'm having halogen. So let me change the values of this first name and last name so we can actually see that it's working. Over here, I have two of my friends. One of them, his name is Samuel, and the other one is Fola. So if I should run this code now, you see, I'm getting Samuel and I'm getting Fola. It works just fine. So I think I'll just stop here. Okay, I'd like to show you this one as well. So you can declare multiple variables at the same time if they are of the same data type. It works. For example, let me say I want to declare the I, j, k as integer. So basically, you are going to be reserving three integer spaces, like portions in memory. So one of them will be I, one of them will be j, and one of them will be k. It works just fine. But if you want to keep it simple, just go with this. This works fine for everything you want to do. So over time, you might decide to be going this way, then over time, you'll be going this way. So it's not hard, trust me. Everything is hard till the day you learn it. So it's not something that you get at the first grasp if you don't have prior programming knowledge. But this is very easy, trust me. This is the list of what you're going to be doing over the next few weeks. So I'll bring this video to a close here. Don't forget, if you have any questions, you can use the comment section, and you can ask in class as well. So thank you very much. I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.